All right, welcome. We are back on Train Sim Classic. It has been a little while, and I think I was meant to stream this some point last week, but we weren't able to. We're able to today, so that's what we're doing. Soren, good to see you, my man. It's been a while. Hope you've been looking after yourself. Anyone else that's currently tuned in, you are very welcome. We are going to go ahead. U-Bahn Hamburg U1, which features a very vast map compared to what SubwaySim 2 has to offer. And so it should keep us busy for the next few hours. I'm going to go ahead and go straight for one of these ones. These are the longest ones, 84 minutes. The DT5. I think they're all fairly similar, the trains. But we are going to go for this just down to the length, to be honest. Driving the whole of the U1 from Grosshansdorf via the city centre towards Norderstedt Mitte. Pronunciations are solely based on vibes, so I hope you don't raise your expectations too high. And I'm going to restart the game because of audio. I had this happen once where for some reason, even though even though the audio is the right one, the audio source, something to do with tabbing in and out of the game does something to the audio with the connection to the stream and just breaks it. So yeah, quick restart of the game should sort that out. Surf, I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you doing? Good to see you. This is a cool game. This is honestly a cool game. I don't think it's like a worse than TSW. I think it does some things better. Some things it does worse. But overall, in its own right, it is a very cool game. Absolutely no doubt. Cannot argue with the variety, whether it be the variety in trains, the variety of routes. It's just ridiculous. 1:12 p.m. in South Africa. Nice one, my man. How's the weather there? Here's our train. Little DT5. We'll just ignore the missing texture thing there. We got our information, our login information over here. So we'll get started by turning this as so. We'll log ourselves in to the little system over here. While we wait for it to start up, I think we'll go through with that. Right, so in here, 421 0 1 for this line, and then we're free to do what we want to do. So 562700. There we go. Enter. That should sort itself out. I don't think there's much to do here. With lights should be. I mean, you can click certain things. Not everything is clickable. I should probably get the doors open as well. There we go. Unfortunately, no camera system as you would find on SubwaySim 2. Of course, you know, at the end of the day, as cool as this DLC is, it is still Train Sim Classic. Air conditioning. I don't think we can mess with anything in these sub menus other than the lighting stuff. But that's all cool. I wonder how well this works. Yeah, I can actually mess around with this. So if I set it to 50, I think that's cool. I do like it that it does translate things for you. That's a big help for me because my German understanding is about 0.1%. Basically, if I haven't encountered it in one of these train sims, I don't know it. Simple as that, really. Got a cab light button there. And I'm just hoping, fingers crossed, that we don't encounter any issues. because there is a manual for this. I haven't read it. There's a horn. It's simple. Not much to expect from it, really. And yeah, man, nice little view straight back into the passenger section. Got a nice little view here as well. And I think we're good to go, man. I think we are good to go. As soon as the doors get closed, we can get moving. Nice and sunny, 19 degrees. That's lovely, man. That is splendid. We have got some clouds here. It's definitely not 19 degrees. I think there is a cipher system on here. I hope I've turned it on. I've just tried to do so using the keybinds. I tell you what I really prefer over the SubwaySim 2 experience. The frame rate, first and foremost. The frame rate. Right, cruise control actually does work. Sick. Right, where did I go there to get that? I think it was there. Right, we're good to go at 80 now. There we go. I prefer the frame rate, of course, and also the sounds. There's a lot more depth to the sounds, and we actually get joint sounds, which are non-existent in SubwaySim 2, unfortunately. I believe they're currently working on the sounds as we speak, and hopefully we see the result of that in the next update for the game. And I guess I also am happy that they are continually updating that game and making it better. There's a lot of things that they're bringing in that should have come like with the game from the get-go. Oh, the camera does work, kind of. But yeah, I guess as always, better late than never, you know. And you know what, I'll be honest, even like looking at the foliage, now too much foliage, or let's say more foliage than is in reality, isn't necessarily the way to go about it. But I do like what I see, once again, over SubwaySim 2. Although I must keep in mind that I am using mods. So in terms of like the colors and the overall like texture quality, that is going to be over what the standard experience would be like, which is obviously something that we can't currently mess around with. On SubwaySim 2, I mean, modding will come at some point, or should come at some point, let me say, but it hasn't yet. So you kind of just get what you get, and it's okay. It's okay. There's just something about Unreal Engine that doesn't really satisfy me too much. I'm not too fussed about it anyway. It's all good. Always nice to have updates. Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. But it's even better to have updates that are meaningful. That, you know, let's say for example, with the bus, that gets regular updates, and in terms of how much they add, pretty significant updates too. However, none of those updates have really touched on some of the main issues with that game, which include the sounds of the buses and the physics. Like if those things could be in order, that's really like all I'd need to probably spend hundreds of hours in that game, especially with how good the Hamburg DLC is and how good in both routes the environment is. And it's unfortunate because the physics and the sounds of the buses are like the number one priority, or should have been the number one priority, and somehow unfortunately aren't. Anyway, as I said, better late than never. I know I've only driven literally like 2 stops, but so far, so good, honestly. I'm really enjoying it. Els, how you doing, bro? How you been keeping? Good to see you. Got my coffee, of course, unsugared, therefore unsalted. I hope at some point I start getting used to the taste, because it doesn't seem like that's going to happen anytime soon. It tastes as bad as it did when I first had it without sugar. But hey, as long as it serves its purpose, keeps me awake, keeps me alive, keeps me talking, I can't complain. How's work going, Els? How's your flying going as well? You ain't been posting many pictures lately, man. Hope you haven't fallen off. Not much sounds from the outside, but then again, I don't know how much you would hear, really. Enough to keep you busy from the inside. This is my first time driving this, by the way. And I was thinking before the stream, I hope everything goes well. I hope everything goes smoothly. It may have been smart to maybe run a service or two, just to make sure there aren't any unexpected surprises. And I can sort of get to grips with driving the train. Honestly, so far so good, man. It's pretty basic EMU. No frills, straight to the point. Does what it does, and does it well. I guess it would have been cool to have the Acalock that recently got added to SubwaySim 2 as a DLC on here, just for some like odd jobs, maybe pulling some freight, maybe pulling some failed units. I guess it would be cool to just see, you know, here and there as well. 4 days off to enjoy, including the weekend, bro. It's easy for me to get jealous, man. But I hope they weren't too eventful, the recent ones. And yeah, enjoy your rest, man. Enjoy your rest. Deserve it, boss. Think on the side a bit more. What? Just like going out to do, what's it called? Not chores. Errands, or like just to kind of enjoy the fresh air and that. I've been trying to do that more recently myself. Haven't been doing it too much, but that should hopefully change in the coming few months. Keep an eye out on the signals as well. It should be a relatively smooth run with regards to the signals, but I should keep an eye out as well. Of course, you know, no HUD. And these aren't as complex as your regular German sort of mainline signals. These should be more akin to what you'd find in the UK, really. We're staying relatively Jackson.
Guess who's back? Back again.
Oh god, I probably shouldn't have done that mid-game. There we go. Just wanted to get the thing up. Has it showed up on stream? Doesn't look like it. We'll see. I hope my game hasn't crashed. Okay, it's paused. Good. Do we have sound though? We do still have sound. Don't worry, the track will come back. There it is. Thank you, bro. Happy that you've got your account back. How did you manage that? I thought that was I thought this account was a goner, man. We're never gonna see the return of Accent Jackson. Thank you very much for the 17 months, bro. 17 months is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Appreciate your support, boss. After Wednesday's loss, I can do with all the handouts I can get. I'm curious to see how much traffic we're going to come across as well. I think so far we've only seen one other unit. I am under the impression that this does have a solid timetable. How it compares to the real one, though, not too sure about that. I mean, this section at least seems quiet, quiet just due to the single line nature of it. Hopefully it picks up a little bit further down. There is also the pressure to stay as close to time as possible as well because of the single line running. Now when it's double track and you've got the trains coming the other way on a completely separate rail, it's not too bad, because if you mess up and you cause a delay, you kind of only really punishing yourself and whoever may be behind you if the timetable is super tight. But you mess up here and you're affecting everybody. I do find it interesting that they sometimes have arrows placed to show where the line's going. I'm not quite sure what the point of those are. It's not like there's any other way you can go. And I'm assuming all the curves here have been, like, the speed limits are rated for the curves. So we'd be curious to know why that signage exists in the first place. The second one I've seen so far. I'm doing good, thank you, Jackson. I'm doing good, thank you, my man. How are you doing? Right, see these two greens. I don't know what that means. Two diagonal greens. Does it mean that we're... because we are coming up to a station. Does it mean that we're diverging to the right? No, we just have one solid one here. I really do like this foresty looking area. I'm going to select one of the other variants of the multiple unit for the next run. Something a little shorter as well, and just see how the driving compares. Really? What, you were just like waking up during the night, Jackson, or as in like you didn't sleep much? This is a completely different variant. This is a lot more old school looking. I think that's one thing SubwaySim 2 is missing as well. If like it should have all the variants of all the trains running on the lines, considering it's only Berlin and Hamburg. Like, it's very limited. So that I think the most they could do in that, given the situation, is give us as many trains as possible to drive on those lines, to at least spice it up a bit more. Yeah, I'm liking the outside scenery as well, Surf. It's quite like foresty, but it's absolutely popping off with foliage. Frame rate has dropped significantly. I'm looking forward to find out why. I'm expecting major things to come our way. Because if with all this foliage to our left and right, our frame rate was completely fine, and now it's dipped. Surely something big's coming, right? It does seem a lot busier here than it did earlier. I do feel like the passengers are a lot more varied than what I'm usually used to on TSC. Definitely much more of a bigger station. Only 2 to 3 hours. Damn, bro. What happened to TSC? As in, like, why it doesn't appear much on the channel anymore? Mostly because there's not much new routes that I've got my hands on. I should be getting my hands on a German one soon. Whether I'll get the key for it this week or not, I don't know. So when I have access to that, then I'll stream it. But for the most part, with regards to like routes that I already have, it became apparent that if I don't have basically to have a quality route, like a quality DLC, it takes quite a bit of work. And a lot of the routes that I were playing, I was just playing them as they were, as I had them, and it meant that the quality was a lot worse than like even what I was getting in TSW. For example, on a few of the German services that I did on the last few TSC streams, as an example, the CIFAR, the key to acknowledge CIFAR, it was the same, they used the same audio as the LZB sound. And I think even for PZB acknowledge, like the only sound they had was the LZB sound. And it's just little stuff like that, and it's like, okay, I can play TSW where I get everything in one package, and then if I want to improve the experience with mods, then I can do that. But if I don't, then at least what I get is as it should be, if that makes sense. Am I not meant to open the doors here? The timer thing just started without me opening the doors. Bro, Els, I rate that, my man.
You can't
I rate
give
that.
us.
Thank you, Jackson.
Give us some financial support. Okay, okay, please give us a credit, and we will give you back money after the war.
I love that for you, Els. Oh, Jackson is echoing.
Okay, please give us a credit.
Hold on a second. We good? Yeah. Okay, hold on. This is gonna keep echoing forever. I don't know why it does this sometimes. This is a very broken sound. Blame the bill. He set it all up himself. I take no responsibility for it. But yeah, I love that for you. I'll keep doing that, bro. It's a legit time you're never gonna get back, bro. So absolutely make the most of it. You're mind blown. This is indeed, bro. How could you not tell that this is not SubwaySim 2? The frame rate is nice and smooth. The sounds sound more like the train should sound. I do want to do some Subway Sim 2 though, because I've got the AccuLock DLC and I haven't done anything with it yet. And it will also give me a chance to give the game another chance. So, yes, maybe next week. It was meant to be this week, but then I swapped it out for. It was meant to be yesterday, but I swapped it out last minute for the GWE remaster, which I also could have done for today, to be honest. But thinking I played it yesterday, I don't know how effective it would be if I played it today as well, you know, especially considering as yesterday's stream was a bit quiet as well, considering how much a lot of people were excited for yesterday's how much people are excited for the remaster. So I thought if it was quiet yesterday, it would just be quieter today, so I might as well just play some Trace Classic. Maybe I'll continue playing this into next week as well, and just keep going until I finished all of the scenarios. Not even scenarios, but the services. No, it doesn't look exactly like it. The foliage on Subway Sim 2, in my opinion anyway, it's not as good as this. This looks clean. It looks clean, it looks consistent. And the most obvious one is the frame rate. Especially because I stream at 60 FPS, so it's very noticeable when it drops below. And of course the CCTV screen isn't like moving.
Lichterheit, Oldenfelden.
Well, you referring to frame rates? Yeah, because you play on console, it's locked to 30 FPS, and it's consistent at 30 FPS. Like I could lock it to 30 FPS and it would be consistent because the game doesn't really drop below 30 for me, but it does drop to like 35, 36, etc. But it doesn't really go lower than that. So it meant if I locked it to 30, it would be consistent at 30. But because I play at 60. It's at 60, then 55, 40, 50, 39, 60, and that when it's moving around like that, it's very obvious. But yeah, on Subway Sim 2, the CCTV screen is is live, if that makes sense. Like you actually see what you should be seeing, whereas on here, it's just an image. Which, you know what? I would love if TSW did the same on, like, their trains. It's a shame that they can't even be bothered to put a still image. And they did it in this game. Like, on a lot of the routes, on a lot of the trains, sorry, in this game, where you'd have the video monitors, it's a still image. Whether it's the ones on the platform or on the train. And it's much better than just having the screen completely black. It's locked on PlayStation, yeah, and I think it's low settings as well. It's either low to medium settings or just low settings. Whereas I obviously try to push it a little bit more, but I now play on what the game has chosen. I let the game auto detect. So I think I'm playing between medium and high, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember if I have DLSS active or not. Subway Sim specific, yes. But a lot of games have that anyway in general when it comes to console. It'll be lower settings than what you'd see on something like than what someone could choose on PC. And usually, if it's like a hard game to run, then it will be 30. But I think, you know how like there's two modes now. You can play at 4K or you can play at like a slightly lower resolution but better performance. So I guess it depends on what, on if a game offers you the ability to choose. So it just depends on the game at the end of the day, really. I did see something I really liked just now. You guys might have spotted it as well, knowing me. You don't get this in SubwaySim 2. Look at that, proper, the proper buses. Yeah, I do miss Omsi. I'll be honest. Enjoy the game. Nice. I don't know whether that's meant to be some sort of Easter egg. Yeah, very nice detail, man. Very, very nice attention to detail. It's nice to see that sort of attention to detail as opposed to like on Train Sim World where all the buses, I mean, they like somewhat try sometimes, but for the most part everything is so generic outside of what you would immediately see from the cab, which some may say is not that much of a problem because I mean your job is to drive the train in the game, not look around. But you know, like I saw the bus from the cab, so sometimes things are visible even if you're not exploring around with a free cab. Upscaling. I mean, the upscaling is like the same technology as like DLSS, for example. So you're not actually getting the resolution that it looks like, right? You're playing at a lower resolution that looks as if it's higher, which allows you to have almost like an illusion of you're playing at a smoother frame rate with good graphics. Playing TSC and chose to play SubwaySim and TSC instead of one of the 1,000 routes that don't exist anywhere else. Well, this is in SubwaySim 2, you don't have all of this to drive. So first and foremost, there's a lot more track here than there is in SubwaySim 2. So there's a lot where we're going to be driving that's simply not in SubwaySim 2. And I think I've given a valid explanation for the other routes and why I don't play Train Sim Classic in general anymore earlier. So I've answered that one already. And ultimately, this isn't SubwaySim 2. Completely different, you know. It's like playing a route in like I've driven the Dresden-Leipzig route in Train Sim Classic when I was playing it a few months ago. That exists in TSW, but it was a slightly different experience. There's a lot actually in Train Sim Classic that I've played on stream that exists in TSW. Where it's a different experience in terms of when you've got different rolling stock, driving it, you're driving a particular route in perhaps a different era. And it's interesting just to compare. Like so far, having only driven the route for maybe 20 minutes or so, whoa. Having driven the route for only 20 minutes or so, I already much prefer this experience than the SubwaySim 2 experience. I definitely am missing the little details like a live monitor and stuff like that. But overall, the lighting is a lot better. Graphically, for me, it looks a lot better. The sounds are a lot better. The map is bigger. There's a bigger variety of trains to drive. There's trains that you've been seeing up and down the line that we don't have in Train Sim Classic. So, I mean, at its core, it's the same thing, yes. But it's like saying, why am I going to drive a Berlin? Why am I going to drive around Berlin in the bus when I can just drive Berlin in OMSI? Like, yes, Berlin does exist in both at a 1-to-1 scale, but they're two completely different experiences. The RSSLO routes are... Well, anyway, about that, let me just double check for you. Because there's a recent German route discussed in the Ambassador Discord. And I think we should be getting keys for it. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's an RSSLO. It's an RSSLO route. So I just want to double check. Oh my god, there's a branding patch already for the Great Western Express Remaster. I called it, but I didn't think it was going to come this quickly. Lovely jubbly. Okay, that's going to be a good video. Where was it? Where was it? Oh my god. Hello? Oh, as soon as I looked back at the screen, it started behaving itself. Okay, I don't know where it is, but I believe it's an RSSLO route that we should be getting the keys for. So hopefully that will come very, very soon. If I get the key over the weekend, then I'll add it to the schedule next week. If I get the key next week, then I'll add it to the schedule the week after. Although I'll give you a heads up from now. Hopefully a short, but whether it's short or not, a break is coming from the streams because we are due this month and I will be taking a bit of a break, and when I come back from the break, sim racing's I'm bringing sim racing with me, so we'll see how that all works, and maybe a different way of doing the streams as well in terms of like the time. I want to find out what time works best for everybody and see if I can work around sort of the average best time for everyone in terms of like streaming. Wait, why the sudden beef with SubwaySim 2? Or do you mean like you want the the new RSSLO route instead? I really want to find what route it was. I don't want to give up. I really want to. Yes, I got it. It's the yes. So the if you go on the Steam if you go on the Steam page of TSC, it's the Nuremberg to Donauwörth. Have I pronounced that correctly? Nuremberg to Donauwörth. And it's from RSSLO. So yeah, fingers crossed we get the keys this weekend. Yeah, nice one. So I don't know anything about that route personally. I'm just gonna go in like, you know, kind of like just straight into it, and hopefully, yeah, I should enjoy it, man. I mean, it's an RSSLO product. Come on, I should enjoy it. Yes, Surf. Yeah, that would make sense.
Nächster Halt.
You guys are about 2 hours ahead of us in the UK, so that makes perfect sense. It's wonderful. What sort of like route is it? Is it like a countryside kind of route? I don't know much about the Mirio. Is it the first time that it's coming into the game? I love the blue, bro. The blue light in here is even better than it is on SubwaySim 2, and I really liked it in SubwaySim 2. I think I'm just a fan of blue lights because I really like them in SimRail as well. They've got blue shunting signals, and I've always loved them. Always loved them. First time we get a modern German EMU anywhere. Wow. Okay. So this one's quite a banger then. The thing is, this came about in our chat because somebody asked for it, and then DTG were like, you know, yeah, no problem, we can get you a key for that. And I've been thinking to myself, interesting, because I've just been waiting for them to give us a key, like they did for the Buchan line. That got me back playing TSC for a while. So I think I'll just keep an eye on the game, and then whenever a route comes out, I'll just ask for a key and see if I can get my hands on one. Because I also thought maybe it's just like DTG routes that they'll give us the keys for, but no, apparently not. Anyway, nothing's finalized yet. Let's wait and see. And if we get the key, then yeah, things will look positive for Train Sim Classic on the channel. Nice announcements as well. They sound cleaner as well from like a cab perspective. Like, they sound like I'm hearing them from inside the driver's cab, if that makes sense. Whereas in SubwaySim 2, it sounds like how it should sound if you were sitting in the passenger section. Like they haven't really tuned it to be heard from this specific perspective. So crazy how my passion for trains that's so quick and has never returned. Really? So what was it, like just like a short-lived thing that you were just like maybe curious about it for a short while? Leaving a fairly big city of Nuremberg and driving towards a more rural area. Those are my favorite types of routes, but the infrastructure and stations and stuff that is modern. In terms of like the route going from big city to suburbs and countryside, that was something I really liked with the Boston to Worcester route, which is like generally speaking that's not really my cup of tea. But what really stood out for me was that sort of that change in scenery and environment. I really liked it, so that's good. I'm happy to hear that, and it makes me look forward to it even more as well. Oh, surf model trains. I think I got into model trains more as an adult. Like now, if I see like any model train content show up on my Instagram, for example, as I'm browsing, I have to just hang around and just watch it, and I really really admire it. And to be fair, no, tell a lie. When I was younger, I used to be into them, but not like hardcore. Like if we'd go to like a toy store, for example, and they've got a model train going there. Actually, even in the hospital, I used to go to the hospital quite often, and in the waiting area, they had like a train that would just go around and around, and they'd have like the car, the little model cars and the people and the buildings. It was fairly well done, and I would just stare at it, man, for that's just the whole time. I would do nothing but just watch this train go round and round, and just watch the little people and the little buildings, and just try, like, I don't know, just like imagine it being alive. As a kid, I loved trains, even up until maybe last year. And what about planes? Like, has planes overtaken that passion, or has just the passion itself in its own bubble just sort of like just gone? They put lots of money into that stuff. What, and they're still trash? Normally here the stations in countries are like on the Niddleton Bahn until today. I guess that they're similar to the UK as well. Like, they're not necessarily trash, but they're not like grand in any way, Simple platform, some shelters. That's all you need. If you're lucky, there'll be like a parking area outside the station, and that'll be it. The very put some money in. There is basically the half Nuremberg to Augsburg. Okay, I don't even know that. I know nothing about that route, so I can't compare that at all. I do like the detail, man. These trains are flying in, Jesus. That makes sense, so they have to, innit? The brakes are good, the brakes can handle it, and also the timetable is pretty strict. I'm pleasantly surprised that I've been able to stick to it as well as I have so far. Oh my god, I'm so happy about the branding mod for Great Western Express Remaster. No one was quicker than modders, man. Well, when they want to work, We had a big board fold out from wall hanging about 3 tracks. Fold out from the wall. That's so sick. About 3 just overall building signals, points, 2 train sets on it, and it had a tunnel, mountain, river. Bro, all of this folds up and just hangs on a wall. That's incredible. How? Only model thing that I had as a child was that like plastic mat, or sometimes it's fabric, and it's like a city with roads. I had that, of course, and then I had like this big parking lot with like a little roads thing. It was very cool, very very cool. My whole childhood was just cars, everything related to cars. I had a nice model BMW M3. I think it was a DTM car, and I remember my mum would always tell me like this isn't for playing with, basically. And then I was like accepting that for like a year or two. Then I was like, no, like, Mum, I want to play with this. Lo and behold, 1 month in, and I break it because it wasn't made for playing with. But I enjoyed the heck out of it. I had a Lamborghini Countach as well that was given to me by my auntie in Morocco. Sick, sick, sick. She saw me just they had it like displayed, and she just saw me admiring it. She was like, "You can have it if you want." Took it home. That one remained a model though. I'm pretty sure I kept that as a model. It broke, unfortunately. I think oh man, it was like packed somewhere, and I think a door broke off, and then where it was kept was like moldy afterwards. So then it had mold in it, and then we just had to get rid of it. It was so sad, but it was a very, very, very cool thing. Surprisingly, my friend who has no interest in cars at all had like 3 or 4 shelves of model cars. I was so jealous as a kid, so jealous.
Nächster Halt, Hauptbahnhof Süd.
Hauptbahnhof.
Übergang zur U2, U3, U4, zu allen S-Bahn-Linien und zum Regional- und
Oh, your dad made the
Fernverkehr.
pulley. Sick.
Next stop, Hauptbahnhof Süd.
I felt like dads of like dad of like before my generation were so cool in terms of like being so handy and just making things. That's genuinely awesome, man. Bro, you know what I would have done for that when I was younger? Oh my god. The thing just folds into that's so sick. And it's the fact that it doesn't sound like it was any basic thing as well. Like you said, it had the building, scenery on it, a bloody tunnel. I mean, having something like that in your room, how do you not fall in love with trains, you know? Like, I've been intentional in not, like, pushing my kids into anything specific. Like, I want them to figure things out for themselves. But I've been thinking recently, I don't know, man. Maybe I'll try and see if they would if they'd be interested in trains. Like, they've played Thomas on TSW and they enjoyed it. So I think there's potential there, you know, if I wanted to sort of give them a bit of a push in that direction. But I do want to sort of let them figure it out for themselves. Made a cardboard building, and like what properly like painted it, like designed it and everything. That's very cool, man. Oh, hold on a second. I had something like a model railway, and I just remember it because I remember, oh my god, this memory is so vague. It's been pulled from the depths of my brain. I remember having a piece of mountain scenery, and I'm trying to tear the grass off. I don't know why I was doing that. I was very destructive with my toys. Very, very destructive. I used to break all my cars pretending that they were all in car crashes. I don't know why that was my brain, and I used to burn a lot of cars as well. Anyway, that's another topic. Yeah, I remember having a piece of mountain scenery from a model something that I had, but it was a train thing. It was like a model train scenery, and I just remember trying to rip the grass off. So I did have something. I did have something like that. You know what? I could have very easily have been super passionate about trains from young. That I liked trains. I had an interest in trains, but I never really had like a deep passion for them. For me, it was cars. It's always been cars. And you never believe it with all, you know, with the only things I play on stream being train content. But cars are my deep number one first love and passion. But yeah, I'm now deep in like how much trains I had growing up. I had like a steam train that used to chuff smoke. It used to smell so good. I used to like sniff it like cocaine. It used to smell so good. But I had that. That was cool. But I used to be scared of it because of it would be coming towards me when I was near it, and it had like the 2 headlights, and they were like eyes, and then the smoke coming. I was like a devil, and they used to scare me a little bit. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with it, regardless. Buildings were pre-made with colors, but plastic people were painted. Right. So were they like built from scratch, Surf, or because you know you can like I know. Today you can buy sets for model railways that are like not painted, it's just a shape, and then you can paint it and design it how you want. I know they do sometimes trains like that as well. They can give you like a plain train structure or like skeleton, and then you sort of paint it yourself, basically, like you like airbrush it or whatever. Bro, I'm down to the second with my timing, with my punctuality on these stations. But yeah, my dad was you know, very much an inspiration for me in terms of just being like a handyman. It was really annoying a lot of the time, because it's like he would try and resurrect things that are just, the thing is dead, man. Just let it go, you know. But he was adamant that, you know, anything can be fixed. Why spend money on something new when you can just fix this current one? I would not apply that per se, but there are a lot of like things in the house that I don't think I would have gone for fixing them myself if not for that inspiration. And it's paid off, to be honest. I think it's important. I think it's an important skill to have as a male, being able to be handy and yeah, be sort of the go-to man, you know, when you have your family, when you have your own family. You have to glue the cardboard pieces together in a certain way. Okay, right. So it was some sort of like kit then that you would have to put together. There were a lot of those types of things growing up. Man, who remembers, like, I don't know if it was just a UK thing, but there was like regularly, often you see advertisements of, it would be planes, cars, trains, but you'd buy them not broken, but like it's all apart, and you would put them together, but it wouldn't be the whole thing. So you would like subscribe, so then next week or next month then you would get another piece of bits, and then you would add that to whatever it is that you're building, and then it would be for like a few months, but then by the end of it you would have built your own like plane or car or train or whatever. That's a throwback, man. Or like you'd buy like a comic, like a magazine, and then at the back there would be the thing that you sign in and then you send. So that, and that was the way that you sign up to a subscription.
Übergang zum Regional- und Fernverkehr, zum Kongresszentrum sowie zum Messegelände Eingang Ost. Next stop, Stephansplatz. Please exit here for regional and long distance trains, as well as Congress Center and Exhibition Halls entrance east.
The brakes on this thing are ridiculous. My passengers must be so sick. Again, literally to the second. We're stopping to the second, according to the timetable. Okay, yeah, very cool, man. Very, very cool. I think I would love, like, it's never been something that I've properly thought about, but I would love, I think, to build a like a model railway, but it would have to be like UK, not even UK based. It has to be like a London base of like London underground trains, and they're so expensive, so expensive. I mean, all of them are, right, but I remember being at the London Transport Museum, which was a very cool place to be. If you ever visit London, I'd say like give it a visit if you're interested in transport. But yeah, they had like a store by the museum. And there was some, like, I don't know if they were a Hornby or a different brand, but there was a model, I think it was the S7 train, something like 300, 400 pounds, something ridiculous, utterly ridiculous. But I guess, man, if that's your hobby, that's your hobby. That's your hobby, you know. You'll invest in it. Drum bag. Windows and plastic bits we stuck on. So you say so this sounds like a proper DIY project. So sick. I feel like when you get when you're there for almost like the birth of something like that, you're a lot more connected to it, as opposed to like if you were to just buy the whole thing pre-made, and all it would just be a toy, right? But when you've made it with love, with passion, it holds a lot more value to you. Jackson, you wouldn't know what variant of DT train that white one is, would you? Let me try and find it before it flies away. Not flies away, you know what I mean. It says 102-1. 102-1. It's got a blood. Look at that. Look at the detail, man. And look at this. A free cam that, because it's not a person, can go between objects. Look at that. So it means that when somebody's walking, the camera doesn't move. I know a game that could learn a thing or two from that. You've been to Hamburg several times. So what version, what variant of train is that? Mountains were pre-made, but we did a lot of work. Yeah. I mean, to make the mountains yourself, I mean, that would have to be a whole, you know, you might as well have run your own business at that point. But I can imagine you would obviously add everything onto them. They're missing alcoholics that sleep at the end of these trains. Yeah, bro, London, Hamburg, Berlin, they all sound the same right now, man. They all sound the same. Frankfurt, throw Frankfurt in there as well. Let's just say every European and UK city that will have one common thing when it comes to the subway system. Oh no, have I messed this one up? Oh, think we could just DT3. Oh, okay, I'll see. I know I saw DT4. I don't recall seeing DT3. We shall see. You're not a Hochbahn expert, no worries, bro. I wouldn't expect you to be. In Frankfurt, you need the ones who inject heroin. Ah, of course. Those ones are the next level. Those ones are elevated. Hey, the trains. Yeah, bro, same here. Let's not even mention New York. It happens on the buses here as well. That sounded so good, bro. Oh my god, the underground section sounded so good. That's what an underground sounds like, man. Rough. I think we got a 40 coming into Kellingusenstraße. We do. It's nice to be back outside. I did enjoy the underground section though. I can always appreciate a well done underground section. My heart bleeds underground, man. Mountains were wooden frame, kind of tricky the shape. Oh, so you could shape them, like you could change the structure of them. I thought they were like already like done, like as in all you would need to do is just like you know, add some grass to it, for example, touch of paint. Sick. Sick. So I assume your dad was like properly into trains as well, and then that's what got you into it. If Pope calls for crusade. No. Just made half a meter. Jackson,
Nächster Halt,
explain this
Fußbalker Straße.
to somebody who has no idea about any of that. Break it down for me. That's very cool, sir. Glad you had what sounds like a really cool childhood, man. Spain's left-wing government under the socialist prime minister president will legalize at least 500,000 immigrants living in the country. Oh, that's rough. That's rough, bro. That's rough. Okay. Before I go controversial.
Nächster Halt, Lattenkamm.
I'm really disappointed. Now, I know it's not every single person. I know. But it's always going to be the negative news and what you see, the negative things that you see, that always speak with the loudest voice. But what I've seen with my own eyes in London and what I've seen on social media in Spain, mostly in Spain, in other places too, but mostly in Spain, from Moroccans and Algerians who legally or illegally have found themselves in said countries. I would never say I'm ashamed to be Moroccan, but it makes me feel it is something to do with shame. It is something to do with shame. It's disappointing, man. It's disappointing. And it's not representative at all of like 90% of Moroccans that I've met across my entire lifetime. Like when you go to Morocco, you go to Morocco and you don't see what you see in the countries that I've mentioned, UK, Spain. You don't see that. And yet this very, very, very small minority have had a huge impact on their own people and the people of the places that they've gone to. And anytime, bro, it's not only Moroccan but also Islamic culture that when you go into somebody's home, there's a certain level of respect that you show. Now, on the Islamic side, there's more that I could go into. That is probably for the best that I don't go into. But if you read and do your research, you'll find that there's a lot aligned with what we currently see happening from the Islamic perspective. But again, that's a different topic. But let's stick to just the Moroccan culture. You go somewhere, you always you always show respect to where you go. And I think the majority of what I've seen has been like younger Moroccans, like in their, let's say, mid-20s to early 30s, who maybe haven't had that way really injected into them, if that makes sense. And it's a disaster, man. Like, even when there's a particular area in London where my dad used to always go, and I used to go with him when I was younger, and it's a predominantly Moroccan area, but all the people there are like my dad's age, so from the generation before me, a few generations before me, and all of them very respectful, very like they don't make noise, they don't get in trouble with the police, they don't cause chaos, they don't, they're not perfect, but they're nothing like what I have seen myself in the last like few years. And what it seems like the Spanish have done is say, that's okay, we welcome you anyway, you're one of us. And I tell you with full confidence, but let's say 5 years from now, we will look back at that, or let's say the Spanish will look back at that and think, holy crap, that was a disastrous decision. In a coded way, what we saw with the Crusades back hundreds of years ago, it's going to be the reverse. It's going to reverse.
Nächster Halt, Ohlsdorf. Übergang zur S1.
I don't know Benny and Sal, no.
Hamburg Airport. Next stop, Ohlsdorf. Change here for Hamburg Airport.
The UK, Jackson, if I talk. People won't like what I'll say. But it's not looking good. I'll say that much. It's not looking good. Half the time you don't even need to say anything because the proof is in the pudding. Even without talking, just look at how things have gone so far and use that as a measure. Oh my god, I said it would be cool if we had the Aculock. The thing's just chilling here. I don't know if we can drive it. No, it's just an AI, it's for AI purposes. Bro, they have it. This is a very nice DLC. And look, they've got the 4.0 something, but it's actually got a modeled interior. See? Do you see that in SubwaySim 2, Jackson? You see this train, yes, but do you see it with an interior? No, you don't. No, there's levels to this DLC, bro. There's actually levels to this DLC, I'm not gonna lie. SubwaySim 2 does not have much on this DLC, bro. Another Aculock. Oh no, it's part of the same formation. So yeah, this is basically what I want to drive in SubwaySim 2. They just brought it in recently as a DLC. Look, bro, the proper depot. Pardon me. This is a sick DLC, man. Shout out to Nabil, by the way. It was Nabil that put me onto this. I haven't given him credit yet at all. It was Nabil that put me onto this. Yeah, Jackson. It's yeah, it's that sort of battle at the moment.
Kleinborstel.
And what's happening now is as they're given more and more power, it's strengthening them. And already, as it is, by the way, here in the UK, there are already laws that are being changed for them. Like, it's bro, the battle is deep. It's not just a matter of, you know, back in the day it was like, oh, immigrants in my country. No, this one's deep. This one's deep, and it's happening so subtly, and everyone's being so conditioned so beautifully for it. No one's gonna notice until it's too late. And when it's too late, it's gonna be too late, bro. And the only way to reverse it is going to be bloodshed. If it goes as far as it looks like it's going. Els, did you not read the reviews, bro? What? Have you ever seen me play it? Don't get me wrong, I want to. I still want to, bro. But can I justify spending how much money is required to be spent on it? Absolutely not, brother. All the reviews are atrocious. Bro, speak. I can't believe it. It's heartbreak. It's the only solid underground route for this game, bro. And disaster. Absolute disaster. I still do want to go for it at some point. I'm gonna try and finesse it. It's just a bit more complicated than how it usually is with other routes, but I am gonna do it. But I'm not paying money for that, bro. Let's be real. Let's be real, bro. There's nothing I want more than a solid London Underground route, bro. To experience it virtually. And I haven't touched it. That itself speaks volumes. It's not about the belonging, Jackson. It's about the attitude. Like, where they go in numbers, by what their religion teaches, you take over. You take over. So you don't go and then you accept the culture, you accept the law, and you just take it. No, where you go, you take over. That's where the issue is. It's not just about going and settling and merging with the culture. If that was the case, there would be no problem. The problem is, you go somewhere and then you're angry at that place for being the way it is. You've gone there. They haven't bothered you. You've gone there and you're angry and now you're fighting because you're not happy with the way things are. Being there in the first place is not a problem. It's the attitude by which you go there. I think I was one of the only people, bro, who while everyone's changing their picture to Palestine flags, I was one of the only people, I think, who was saying it's not that. And all you have to see is trends. Free Palestine is a trend. Because if Free Palestine is truly about Palestine, Sudan, Yemen, China, everywhere else where Muslims are being persecuted, I didn't see anyone make a noise about those places. I didn't see anyone make a noise about those places. Now, if it's about humanity, what about the Christians that are being slaughtered in Nigeria? What about anyone? What about the Buddha? What about the non-Muslims that are being killed in India and Pakistan? So is it really about? Is it really about? What is it really about? What is it really about? And when something becomes a trend, that in within itself is a warning. That within itself is a red flag. Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. Okay, everyone started posting black screens, pictures. Ever made the display picture black? Okay, Black Lives Matter, no problem. What happens to Black Lives Matter? Where did that money go? Has anyone done the research and seen where all the donations went? The millions of dollars that were donated. Did anyone actually follow that up? Do we know how much of a percentage was used for Black Lives? Do we know if any of the percentage was used for Black Lives? It's out there. It's out there. When there's noise and I look at the right and you got people saying, listen, if I go into it, there's a lot of things that... Anyway, this is why no one likes me. This is why I'll sit here with 2 viewers. I say things I say things people don't want to hear. But I'd rather the truth than layer your ears with sugar and candy. If I don't like it, there are a million other people you can watch.
Nächster Halt, Langenhorn Nord.
What does assimilate mean, Surf? Does that mean like adapt and like merge with the culture? I like that word. I think I've heard it before, but I don't know what it means like for me to use it myself. Interesting how the news week. Oh yeah, bro. I haven't like read any newspapers or watched any news since I think since I was in my teens. Since I was like 18, maybe 17. I don't know, something like that. Why do you think you guys will come and tell me, oh, how do you not know what happened to Trump? How do you know that Trump, you didn't hear what Trump said? How do you not hear what Biden said? How do you not hear what this happened and that happened? Look, I don't know, bro. I don't follow the news. I don't need to. Whatever I need to know eventually finds its way to me. In America, the whole left-right thing is so poisonous. In America, they will die. You're a leftist. Oh, bro, open carry, boom. Oh, what you support the right? Open carry, boom. Poof. They're ready to die. They've died. They've killed and they've died for right and left. Come on, man. Is your life not worth more, bro? Either way, you're getting shafted. You're getting shafted a little bit from this side, and you're getting shafted a little bit from that side. In London, for example, all the people that enjoy poverty and are proud to be broke and don't want to do anything about it, the go-to is always Labour. Me as well. When I was younger, Labour. Because Labour were the ones that support the poor people with more benefits and an easier life and rewards for not doing anything. And then they make the rich look bad. No worries, now we got a Labour person in power. Thousands of millionaires and billionaires are included in that number too left the UK last year. The owner of the CEO of Revolut, Jackson, the CEO of Revolut left the UK last year. I think he was paying £3 million in taxes. Either 3 million or 3 billion. I think it was £3 million in taxes. Because the rich and the wealthy are just getting squeezed out of the UK. Okay, cool. You've squeezed somebody like that out of the country. Now I think to pay his taxes, to pay his taxes that he was paying by himself. I think I heard it was recently in a Diary of a CEO podcast. I think it's 400,000 people. His tax by himself that he paid to the country, to the government. That hole that has now been created to cover that, it takes the taxes of 400,000 normal people. So is that a solution? And it's just to treat the wealthy as if they're all evil, squeeze them out of everything, and that's it. I don't remember the numbers, but if you look at the percentage of tax, I think it's like 90% or something ridiculous of tax is paid by like 10% of people. But you're in a cool. To gradually adopt the customs, values, language, and the way of life of another culture, especially when moving to a new community or society. Beautiful. Thank you. Appreciate the breakdown. That's a perfect, perfect word for it, in all honesty. Yeah? You like the shotgun sound? I'm never doing it again, bro. Listen, let's not even talk about a victim train. Sorry, I just saw that. I just saw that chat. Let's not even talk about the victim train. There was an interview. There was like a reel I saw yesterday of like a businessman sitting. You know they do that show or whatever it is where they have a table and they have two people that have opposite beliefs or views, and they sit them at the table and then they have a discussion. Oh my god, the guy is trying to talk to this woman. Yeah. Number one, she won't let him get a word out. She won't let him get a word out. And her thing is like, and she was like, well, what are you gonna say? Oh, I just need to work harder. I just need to work harder. Bro, I think she was like unemployed even. I keep really messing these stops. I think she was unemployed or whatever. Oh, that's what you all say. You're all evil. You're all evil. Oh yeah, just the usual. We need to work harder, bro. The guy was he was trying to explain to her that he grew up poor. She wouldn't. She would. There's no. That's it. It's poor. She has to be poor. That's her mentality. I'm poor. I need to stay poor. And you're rich. So you're evil. I'm angry at you because you're rich and I'm not. So what if she wins the lottery today? Let's just say theoretically, hypothetically, she wins the lottery. So now she's become the most evil person in existence because now she's rich. I mean, it's just a mentality, you know. You just want to hit your head against a wall sometimes, man. I just hope that the situation doesn't get to the point of being too late. I just hope. In Birmingham, I don't know if you heard about this, Els, but in Birmingham, there is a man running for, I think it's mayor of Birmingham. There's a man running for mayor in Birmingham who, I think a couple of decades ago, was arrested and charged with terrorist offenses. He joined it was in a different country. He joined like a terror group, like an Islamic terror group. He got charged for it, guilty, but now he's running for mayor, and he's fully allowed, by the way. And let's be honest, with it being Birmingham, and I think there's videos of him saying like yeah, we want to make the country like this and this and this, and so obviously very radical views. There's so much more. It goes so much deeper, man. There are people who really speak well on the topic and who really know their stuff. I'm just scratching the surface. I just pick up a little bit here, a little bit there. Yeah, honestly, Jackson, I think it's more so it's important to speak about it. I think it's important to speak about certain things and correct certain mindsets. There's a conversation I had with ASR a few months ago and he had that sort of mentality of, oh, you're rich, so you're evil. And I had to, like, we were having a conversation, and I was breaking things down for him, and eventually he made like a bit of a U-turn on that mentality, and I think that's important. Ultimately, it is a frustrating conversation, but I think sometimes it's important to have.
Nächster Halt, Richtweg.
But I don't like having it something like that too much. You know, like the Epstein stuff that's going on. I'm not going to go too deep into it. I'm just going to touch on it. But I've seen all over social media now, all the comments. Why is no one doing anything about this? Why is nobody doing anything about this? Why is nobody doing anything about this? Why is nobody? So is that the thing? Is that the thing to do? You sit and type. Go out and protest. Go out and create a website that informs people about the evil that you believe Epstein has done. Everyone is sitting at home, sitting on their phones, sitting on a bus, on a train, commenting, why is nobody angry about this? Why is nothing being done about this? It's that mentality, it's that logic that is the most frustrating, I think. Everyone wants to comment, why is nobody doing anything about this? Everyone is sitting on their phones typing, why is nobody doing anything about this? And that's all. And then they put their phone down, and the phone that they put down. Anyway, let's not even go there. Here we're on the U-Bahn today. We're driving the DT5. It's a great map. It's the entire U1 and I think some other U's. At one point it said it, but I've lost it now. There's the Akalok. Great DLC. Maybe this will have me streaming TSC a few more times. And then that could like segue onto the Nuremberg. What was it? Nuremberg to where? Donsworth or something like that. Nuremberg to Donsworth route.
Nächster Halt, Norderstedt Mitte, Übergang zur A2, Endhaltestelle.
That sentence sums it right up. Yeah. Only people who could really do anything are on the list themselves. Yeah, that's it. that's it. Go cry about it. Nothing's going to be done about it. What the heck? And none of it is new, by the way. But everyone that would talk about it was called a conspiracy theorist and was made fun of. Ha, tin for your hat. Ha, tin for your hat. Okay. Cool. So you two, you're wearing. So now you as well. You're wearing the hat as well. Seems to fit you very nicely. It's comfortable, isn't it? What the heck is this train? I like driving like older style trains. What the hell is this to my left? I don't know if you can drive it or not. I need to see if it's got a modelled cab. No, it doesn't. A2. It's got like... Bro. Hamburg loves its square trains, isn't it? I do like this though. I think it'd be cool to drive. Bad luck, you did not complete the scenario successfully. Is it crack or heroin? What are you talking about? I did not complete the scenario successfully. Bro, I banged that. The timing was on point. I stopped everywhere. What? Because I overran a couple of stations. I still stopped. There you go. Stopped at 30. I've lost my mouse. It's not even here. Stopped at 38 out of 38 destinations. Okay. Added or removed 0 out of 0. Okay. Picked up passengers at 2 out of 6 platforms. What are you talking about? I mean 2 out of 6 platforms. But I've stopped at 38 out of 38. What are you talking about? Bro, where's my mouse? Bro, you've taken my mouse and you're talking about 30 out of 38 destinations. Can I have my mouse back, please? Bro. Hello? So now that scenario, it's not going to be marked as like complete then. That scenario is not going to be marked as complete. So why did I do it? That's 84 minutes. That's an hour. An hour and 24 minutes long. For what? I don't understand what I need to do on YouTube for my videos to do well. I was the first. My video went up first. Because I was a bit cheeky with when I uploaded it. But my video went out first about GWE Remaster. I don't know. I don't quite know what more I need to do. Oh, look at it. Stupid, ugly train. DT 4.1. I want to drive it. Where are the other DTs? So look, 4.1/24. Wait, can you see it or am I in the way? No, you can see it. DT 4.31. DT 4.41. DT 4.44. DT 4.54. DT 4.6/561. There's a DT 5. There's a lot going on. Okay. Let's start from here. It's another 81-minute one. 80-minute, 1 hour and 20 minutes. What's that? 1 hour and 20 minutes. Okay, and then maybe we can do this one afterwards. Whoa. This is a bit different, isn't it? Where's our information? 421 44301. Is this not the same as the previous one? There's like cab lights and stuff. How do I turn those on? Or are they automatic? Oh, it's all here. Passenger lights are now on. Cab light, don't need to do that. Release park and brake just in case it's on. I'm gonna miss cruise control, but that's okay. Whereas cruise control is more just like a limiter, really. I don't really understand how coffee works, like with regards to my body. Sometimes I'll drink it and it will give me a crazy boost. Other times I'll drink it and I'll just fall asleep straight afterwards. Oh man, the only thing they could have done better with this one is added the Aculock as a drivable vehicle. Show methamphetamine? I'd rather not. Thank you for the recommendation, though. I like how this one sounds. It sounds a lot more old school, which obviously makes sense. Like, it sounds like how it looks, if that makes sense. Now, SubwaySim 2 are slacking, I'm not gonna lie. The more I see, the more I hear, the more it becomes obvious. I don't know what any of this means. I don't think I need to worry about it. Yeah, I do like it, Surf. It's got like an old school vibe, which again makes complete sense. But I do tend to lean more towards like older trains, not too old, but something like this. If that's how you want to take it, Jackson, nothing I can do, boss. Sounds like a vacuum a little bit. Do any tram routes exist for TSC? I do wonder. I wouldn't mind a cheeky tram route. Someone needs to add the Croydon one. The sad thing is, a lot of those people exist. You're pretending. A lot of people aren't. "30 out of 38 destinations stopped. 2 out of 6 platforms." What are you talking about, man? Like, I don't care for achievements, but if I've spent time doing something, then it needs to be like checked off or marked as it, you know, as it should be. Clearly, Jackson. Bro, I can't like emphasize how gassed I am about there being a branding patch already. Jackson, that was what I was. That was what I was alluding to earlier. That video, out of all the creators, was the first to come out. I'm not gonna go into why and how. I'm just gonna say it was the first to come out. Yeah. Is the remaster not what everyone is very excited about at the moment? So you think, with that being the case, and the video is a good video, I think. Like, I think it's quite a decent video. The thumbnails, I think that's a good thumbnail, especially compared to what I usually put up. It's got a good thumbnail. The video's good. Early access, right? I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. Like, some things I can say, maybe it was like, maybe I didn't put in a lot of effort. Maybe the thumbnail wasn't really attention grabbing. Maybe. For that, bro, I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. Like, even if it was going to be at hundreds. Bro, what was that, 19 or something? I don't know, bro. I don't know. I also do, when I come back from my break, I do want to do more like regular videos as well, because I've set some time aside for it, which is the Wednesday evening. That's why I don't stream on Wednesday evenings anymore. Wednesday evening is my time to focus on like content creation, whether it be TikToks or regular videos. But it's become very apparent that that's not enough time. So an idea that I'm playing around with is, once I figure out what could potentially be the best time to stream, then just have that one stream a day, and then the rest of the day I'm working on like other bits of content. Or if I don't have any ideas for content, or there's nothing to do in terms of videos, then I can just stream on those evenings, because I'll be playing anyway, most likely sim racing. But if it's like an unscheduled stream, then it will be if I don't have anything else to do. Yeah, voice your opinion, bro. Absolutely. Have you forgotten what channel you're on? Can you voice your opinion? Am I gonna say no? Am I gonna say only if it's politically correct? Voice away, brother.
Only if you're nice. Only if it's gonna be a nice opinion.
Scenic train screenshots. Okay. So I only do my face when I'm talking, and I do that because 95% of my videos aren't with me talking. So what I would expect a hypothetical audience to expect is for my video, they would expect my video wouldn't have me talking, because I don't usually talk on my videos. So I do that to show that, okay, this is a video where I feature in it. And yeah, not so much necessarily a shocked face. Like, it's not meant to be attention grabbing, but I mean, I think it helps. I think it might help a little bit. But that's my personal reason for why I do my face on those videos. And also, in terms of, I guess everyone's different, right? Everyone has their own what catches their attention. But I think if we're talking on average, I think more people would be attracted to those kind of thumbnails than not. I'm like you personally. What might draw my attention is, I don't like clickbait. Basically, show me what I will see in the video. Don't show me something that I'm not gonna see, or something that's exaggerated. I don't like that. So if you look back on like 95 or even more % of my videos, they're all just like, if you look at all of my city car driving videos, are pictures of the car that I drive in the video, in the game that I'm playing in the video. That's it. That's what it is, you know. So I've always been like straight to the point, and even a lot of my content where I don't talk, yes, on the one hand, I'm not the like talky type, but also, I guess up until, because I've started to kind of change my ideology, but up until recently, I make content that I would watch. So even going back to city car driving, I would love, when I was a kid, not a kid, but like when I was watching YouTube, I really enjoyed videos where there was no talking, nothing else happening, just driving. I really liked those videos. So then when I started playing that game and making videos, those were the videos I made. And I continued that for a long time. Even up to now. It would just be videos of the game itself without any talking. Because that was what used to appeal to me. But it's only now that, like I said, my ideology is changing a little bit, because ultimately the YouTube game is a game. And I look at my numbers, I look at my analytics, I look at all the data, and compared to what I want to be seeing, it's very, 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 very bad. Very bad. So it's very clear that the way that I've been doing things, it hasn't been working. And I can either continue doing things anyway, because that's what I do, or adapt to the current market and the current economy, and try and keep the core what it is, but change my approach, if that makes sense. Two times a week. I don't actually know what the ideal upload schedule is, but I would like to upload ideally 3 times a week, ideally, which I obviously don't do. And I would like preferably at least 2 of those videos to have me featuring in. Utilize the green screen. Oh, as in like actually have stuff. Why I just realized, why am I so short? That's better. Actually like have something on the green screen. I've touched on that before. So the issue with that is I haven't been able to find a software as good as Nvidia to put anything on my green screen. There are some very cheap gimmicks and they're trash. I've tried a few of them and they're just trash. Maybe there's more out there that I don't know about that are good, but from what I've seen and tried myself, they're trash. With Nvidia, it does it perfectly. I can put anything on it and like it's there. It does it just perfectly. But because I'm not using an Nvidia graphics card on my streaming PC, I can't utilize the software. So I'm in a bit of a position where all I can really do is just this basically. Yeah, but see, that's the thing. I can't do that. The software that I've played around with, and there's different ones, to do that effect. That bro, trust me, they're trash. I've messed around with them. I've changed the settings. I've like looked at like tutorials and stuff for them to see if maybe I missed something. They're trash, bro. A lot of them are just people's projects. They're like add-ons that you can get for OBS. And Nvidia Broadcast, it just did it perfectly, man. Whether it replaces the green screen with something else, whether it removes it completely and it just has my face, it just did it beautifully, man. And I haven't found anything that comes close. So yeah, thank you for the feedback. I agree. I would prefer to at least have like the train one back, you know. That would make sense. I just haven't been able to. There's nothing like Nvidia Broadcast for AMD because I'm using an AMD GPU. That doesn't exist. So I'm kind of just left with my dick in my hands. What the next thing I'm thinking is whenever I'm in a financial position to be able to buy a new GPU, then I can put the new one obviously in my current gaming PC, and then put my gaming PC one in my streaming PC. Then I'm good. Then I am good, bro. I can even start streaming in a higher with a higher bitrate and stuff. Everything can improve. But until then, there's not really too much that I can do. No, I appreciate it, bro. I always welcome any advice or what's the word? Constructive criticism, anything like that. Just Arsenal Bill. The amount of times that guy has hurt me. I thought something was good, or I thought I was doing something well, or I tried something new that I thought was really cool, and he'll just shut it down, bro. But ultimately, like it ends up being for the better, you know. So you kind of have to take it on the chin. I don't mind anything that hearing anything I don't want to hear, as long as it's for my benefit. Don't lie to me and say that something's good just to make me feel good, because you're not going to make me feel good. If something's trash, tell me. And ultimately, this is your viewing experience, and you have the opportunity to change it as you would like it to be. You're not stuck watching a video or something on TV or a movie that's as they've decided to do it, and whether you like it or not, you have to enjoy it that way. Bro, I hope that I'm providing, that I'm helping you with entertainment or advice or somebody to talk to or a way to pass the time, whatever it may be. But like, I also need you as well, you know? Otherwise, how are we going to do anything? Like, there's a whole channel on Discord that nobody uses dedicated to feedback. That's there for feedback, you know? To say, hey, I didn't really like how you did this. I didn't really like how you said that. Oh, this thumbnail could have been better. You could have maybe done this. Oh, this was really good. I like how, you know? Just feedback in whatever form. Good, bad, negative, positive. All of it shapes how the channel moves and how the brand moves forward. The thing is, Jackson, where I lack with regards to those videos, similar to how you mentioned, is by nature, because I'm not like deeply passionate about trains, there's a lot of information and knowledge that I just don't know. Like, bro, 90% of my knowledge is stuff that I've picked up from chat or the forums. Genuinely, about trains, about the railway, all of that stuff. So I can't be some sort of like fraud and go out and pretend that I know what I'm talking about, or because I won't. I simply won't. If we're talking about cars now, I have a better chance of doing it successfully. But about trains, not at all, man. No at all. My knowledge is very limited. In that sense, and that's why it's easy for me. I can drive them well, so I'd rather just put a video of me driving a train instead of pretending I'm somebody that I'm not. You just want to see me succeed. I appreciate that, man. That's love. That's the plan, man. You know what? I already am. I'll be honest. If I'm gonna like take a pause for a moment and just kind of like deep everything, bro, I've succeeded. I've succeeded, bro. We got a community. I've been able to, in whatever way that I've done it, helps people, even if it's one person. Like, people would take time out of their day to come and chill with me. You know, and I was thinking this yesterday. I looked at the views for the GWE video, and I was like, you know what? I have been disappointed about it, but realistically, I think it was when it was 9 people. I was like, bro, 9 people have taken the time out of their day to watch me. 9 human beings with their own lives have taken some time out of their precious 24 hours to watch my content. What's there to be disappointed about, you know? I've succeeded, bro. Like, if I'm gonna look at it for real, and just stop for a moment, I've beyond succeeded, bro. I'm very blessed, very blessed that people will invest in me financially for years straight, for many months, consistently, consecutively, in me. If it's just one person, bro, if it's just one person, that's nuts. That's actually mad. That's very mad. So I'm blessed, bro, man. Because the reality is, if I don't have that grounding, I would be at 6 million subscribers and 6,000 consecutive viewers and 1,000 subs daily. There will always be more. 6,000 people sub today. Come on, man. Why not 7? 7,500 people sub today. Let's go for 10. It never, when anything that comes in the that is in the realm of numbers, there's no limit to it. If you don't set your own limit, there is no limit. You will never be content or happy, or you know. So yeah, I am disappointed a lot of the time. I do wish that, you know, I was doing better, and I ticked off my goals, but ultimately, I'm blessed, so blessed. There are a few people who watched me for a time and then started streaming themselves. I helped to inspire you, stream. That's mind blowing. That's mind blowing. Go, bro. Go be successful. Achieve. That's so sick. That's so sick. Go do your thing, man. Anything anyone puts their mind to, they achieve. Or is it going to say that I've failed now? It will happen, bro. It will happen. It will happen. You know, like if you want to talk financially, the most difficult thing, and I guess I speak from my perspective and my experience, growing up, I don't want to say in poverty because we were never hungry. We went to on holiday every year. There was always food on the table. You know, we weren't like broke, but it was very obvious. It was always there was always statements. You know, can't afford this, can't afford to do that. Money is this, money is. Do you get it? So I grew up with believing a particular thing about myself and about money. And the hardest thing for me is breaking the mindset. That's why I never talk to my kids about money. Make it seem like it's nothing. Don't make it seem like it's something so difficult to attain. No matter how much I have struggled, my kids have never known. They'll know when they're older, but as their brains are developing, as their mindsets about certain things are developing, especially with something like money, you make it seem difficult, something that's difficult to achieve now. They will always believe it's something difficult to achieve, and because they believe it's difficult to achieve, it will be difficult for them to achieve that, because they will behave, they will speak. The decisions they make will all be based on it's hard to not be poor. It's hard to get money. And I've heard so many people talk about wealth. I've been in the presence of wealthy people and heard them talk about wealth. And so I've realized there's a difference between what I know and what I believe. And what I believe has been the hardest thing to change. I know money is not what it seemed like growing up. But it's very difficult for me to break that mentality. And the few times where I've been able to break through, I've seen the results like that. Like even trading, the fact that I can say between the last few weeks, I've lost over £1,000. I can say that and be okay. My guy. Not many people will understand how insane that is. I would have £20 and I'm fighting to hold on to it, and at the end it goes anyway, because the more you like it, the more it runs away from you. The more money is the one thing that you will never have a correlation with. It will either chase you or you chase it. There's no in between. You can never chase you as you're chasing it. It can't be. It's a principle. And that's been the hardest thing. Not to chase it, not to love it, not to hold on to it with my whole being. So yeah, man. That's why when I say like it's been such a blessing to lose so much, I say it from that perspective. Of course it's not a good thing to lose money, but for someone who grew up with such a way of thinking, to not go and kill myself after losing anything more than £50, it's a blessing, man. Such a blessing. And it's more than anything, of course. Yes, I do want to generate generational wealth that my kids and their kids and their kids will enjoy. But more than anything, I want to let the mindset flow downwards, so that even if I don't get to that point, they will. As a man thinks, so is he. It's a life principle. You just throw one out the window to make it come back through the door, bro. Bro, that is a hell of a statement. What a statement. Of course it'd be coming from a billionaire. Obviously. What a statement. And you sit down and listen to anyone who's wealthy talk about money, and they all share a similar. That's the thing. I realized when I started listening to more and more wealthy people, they all say the same thing, or not necessarily the exact same thing, but all the things they say correlate with each other. You see a pattern, and no matter how strange it was to me, because at the very beginning I was like, you got lucky. You must have had a hand down. But then I started hearing it more and more, and you get to a point you can't deny it. It gets to a point you can't deny it. You know you're just lying to yourself. That was how I came to Christ. you get to a point in life. There's a thing comes and you can't deny it. You can lie to yourself, but you know you're lying to yourself. You know that's not how you believed it to be. You know that it's not what you always thought it was. And it's very difficult to continue if you have any self-respect and self-honor. It's very difficult to continue beyond that point of arguing against what you know is true. Oh, that's a name. That's a name I recognize. Although I've never known what he does. I know his name. That's a sign of a great man, by the way. That's a sign of a great man. I know his name. I've seen his name so much, and I have no idea what he does. Clothing. Okay, of course. Yeah. Yes. I've seen it around fashion. Yes. Yes. In magazines and articles and stuff like that. Yeah. Bro, the Bible says a great name is worth more than riches. It's facts. It's facts. Yeah. But is it like is it a brand? Does he have his own brand, or is he in the fashion industry and has like influence? Do you ever like? You know what? I can't even ask you, because if somebody asked me 5 years ago, I think I would have said no. But I'll ask it anyway, actually, out of curiosity. Do you ever plan, or do you see like a future with like a family, partner, kids, or maybe just a kid? You know, like a little Axel Jackson. Don't see it, but I hope for it. Then start seeing it, bro. Start seeing it. That's where life can be sometimes, man. The time that I not gave up on the idea, but you know, after years and years of nothing working, you just think to yourself, you get to a point where you think to yourself, you know what, forget this. You know, forget it. I'm just gonna do me. Just gonna live my own life. And that's when life says, actually, here you go. Here's somebody. I like myself, you know. I was watching my stream back, yesterday's stream, just to see like how it was to watch, how my microphone was as well, like you know, volume and all of those things. And I had just watched somebody else's live stream, and I saw how they were, you know, just constantly talking about the game and the trains, and I was like, okay, I think I need to focus on just focusing on like what's happening. Maybe I just waffle. I waffle a lot. But as I've been waffling this whole time, it's me, bro. It's me. Like it's me. I can't. I won't compare myself. If I happen to just waffle, I'll waffle. If I happen to talk about the game for the entire stream by some miracle, you know, then I'll do that. I'll trust on the God who made me how he made me, man. If this is me for this particular time, so be it. I think that's one thing I think about sometimes when I look at the numbers and I look at, like, for example, other ambassadors or other people who make similar content. I do think to myself, maybe I need to change how I talk, change what I say. And then I think to myself, actually, I'm kind of happy with how I am, and I do like, I love myself, which is a testimony in itself, because that wasn't always the case. I'm thinking, okay, if as time goes on I change naturally, so be it, but I won't force it, or I won't act differently, you know. Like, I think the best opportunity I had to do that, or to prove otherwise, was the Christmas stream, the requester route, because it was advertised by Dovetail themselves. That would have been the time, okay, maybe there's new people come in, you know, this is my chance to, you know, put on a persona. That was myself. And I'm proud of that. Classic auto mod, man, for sure. Yeah, so I mean, you're in a good place, to be honest. You've, like, in a way, like, calmed down in terms of, like, you're no longer like excited for those things. And don't get me wrong, you can find someone that's your age, or within the age bracket that you know that you wish to have as like a partner, hopefully not on Epstein level, and find someone who matches that. You know, there is truly somebody for everybody. But I think if you're looking ahead at a particular, if you have to look ahead, if you're looking ahead with a particular future, then you have to be mindful of that. If you do want, for example, as an example, a life in the countryside, as an example, quiet life, you can't find somebody in a club. You could, but the likelihood that it's somebody in the club, off Molly, you know, high as shit, you know, the likelihood of that person, you guys, you know, is unlikely. So I think you're in a good place, man. I think you're in a good place in terms of thinking ahead. Hello, Mark. How you doing? Interesting TSW update, eh? How you doing, mate? Good to see you. I thought the same thing, Jackson. I'll tell you what sort of my version of your messy mind onto someone else. In my life, when I say significant, I'm talking all my life. At the time that I got with my partner, all my life, I just seemed to have bad luck. When there was something to do with luck or chance, it 99.9% of the time it goes against me. And so I used to tell myself, bro, let's be honest, you don't want to share that you don't want to give that to somebody else. You don't want to put somebody else in that same position. I found somebody who, no matter how much things go against me, she's with me. She talks a reality that is foreign to me. But as I've adapted to it, it's changed how things happen, if that makes sense. And I always refer back to the Bible for quotations or principles or whatever. And the Bible says, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. And I go back to where I said that there's somebody for everybody. And so as long as you find somebody worth a wife, worth making a wife, you found a good thing. And if you've got a messy mind, truly, you've got someone who can deal with that. You've got someone who can clean it up for you. Because, bro, you can't do life alone. Not even from a marriage perspective, just in general. You can't do life alone. Being alone is a dangerous place to be in many different ways. So I completely understand that mentality. I shared it. But I can say, you don't have to get rid of it necessarily to find someone who can hold that weight on their shoulders, if that makes sense. 8.9 gig mark. Jesus. I knew it was significant, but I'd forgotten exactly how significant. I guess it's practically like a reinstall in a way, which in when you look at it from that perspective, it kind of makes sense. Well, it makes more sense than it does if you think of it as just a remaster, really. All hope is not lost, Jackson. And absolutely, not every single thing has to come to the light. Absolutely. But you find someone who can get the ball rolling in you dealing with even the matters that you can't disclose. Those will always still be there on both sides. Finding someone who you could marry, finding a wife, it is deeper than just, oh, I've got a partner. Oh, I've got somebody I can have kids with. Bro, it's so much deeper. So much deeper. The Bible says that when two people marry, the two become one. That's deep. There's a lot of depth to that. A lot of depth to that. But unfortunately, we live in a society where things like divorce are very like normal and sometimes celebrated. And of course, it's very difficult in that instance to respect and honor marriage as it should be. Three stream streak, Mark. What a legend. Appreciate you, mate. What's the SERE course? I've never heard of that. You'll find someone this year, Jackson. I'm telling you. I promise you. You'll find someone this year. Survival, evasion, resistance, distraction. That sounds like a military. That sounds like a military course. That's how long my TSW6 is gonna take. Listen, Mark. It says 21 minutes. Be grateful, brother, because there are people who their internet cannot do it any faster than 3 days. So take it as that. Basically get tortured for 6 days. Yeah, sounds like the military. Nah, if 8 gigabytes. Wait, how long did the whole thing take, Mark? Like it says 21 minutes now, but I'm assuming it's been downloading for a while. I think this is where we come out to the outside world after this curve. Carda, what a legend! I need to play the sound. There we go. This thing has been so broken today. I don't know whether it's because I'm playing TSC. It seems like anytime I play TSC, some sort of funkiness. Look at that. Some sort of funkiness has to take place. Thank you very much for the raid, my man. I hope you had a great stream. How are you doing? Cardinians, welcome. How are you guys doing? I know you enjoyed Carda's stream. I don't need to ask how it went, what happened, what was played. However it happened, whatever was played, it was a great stream. It's Carda, man. You see Carda NL and you know, listen, you know it's going to be a banger. 10 times out of 10. I was wrong, by the way. We haven't come outside yet. We're still on the ground. We are on TSC, driving the Hamburg U-Bahn U1 line in its entirety, I believe. It's quite lengthy, an hour and 20 minutes end to end. Started off here. We are currently here. And we'll finish somewhere here. It's a wonderful DLC. Like 5 different variants of the train to drive. The Aculock features as AI. The 484 is it? I think features as AI. Modeled interior. There's a couple other U-Bahn trains that feature as well. It's a great DLC. Shout out to Nabil for putting me on. It does, Mark. It has the Metropolitan line. Now, it has a lot of negative reviews, but it exists. That you can also, as a mod, like not on Steam, get the old school district line as well. I need to get my hands on that, but I also need a bunch of DLCs to make it work that I don't have. But I need to get my hands on that at some point. So there's a couple options to choose from. Machiavelli, how you doing? How is the arm? I wish TSW had more London Underground. I mean, it's great having the Bakerloo line, but it's severely outdated. Doesn't sound anything like an underground train should sound like. Bring on a Piccadilly line before they bring on the new trains, or a Metropolitan line even. Or, better yet, bring on a mid-2000s district line. That's the best thing they could do. In its entirety. With all the AI. How about that? Not too much to ask for. Oh, I thought the peeling stage comes quite quickly. Huh. Bring Piccadilly with the new trains? Nah, man. I mean, I'll take it. Like, bro, just bring the Piccadilly line, damn it. I would take it. But there's something about the current trains, man. They have character. They have character. I mean, the new one has its own character too. I just prefer the character of the older of the current ones. I like the noise. I like the rattling. I like the old schoolness of it. The new one's gonna be too refined. Too nice and pretty. But like I said, give me anything, man. I'm desperate. Week and a half. And you need to have it wrapped that whole time, right? If I remember correctly. Been only 3 days. I mean, Mark, I don't know exactly the details with PS4 and Xbox One with regards to the remaster, but we have to be realistic, man. We have to be realistic. How much are we going to keep pushing the PS4? At this point, why are we not upset that the Sega Mega Drive doesn't have TSW on it? We might as well. Why doesn't the PS2 and the PS1 run TSW? I think sometimes we need to be a bit sensible with our expectations. How TSW is even still being supported on PS4 and Xbox One, I don't understand. And I don't think it should, in my opinion. New ones, they are from Siemens. Yeah. Because I remember hearing that they drove them from the Siemens factory through Germany, on their way to the UK. Loitering here on our German trains. Oh, German tracks. It was very interesting seeing the images and the videos. It was very, very interesting. Probably you're not going to see anything like that for a very long time. But hey, at least you guys got the taste, you know. At least you were honored to have the London Underground run on your tracks. And hey, at least now you know the track gauge. We share track gauges. That should bring us closer as a people, as a society. You got the pro version of PS4. Don't you have a PS5, Mark? Egyptian Veleros. Veleros are Egyptian. I didn't know that. Have we not passed 70 already? Turkish ones seen rarely sometimes here as well. I think those are like instances where I would actually go out of my way and go and actually like try and find them. Like, I've never gone train spotting or anything, but I think for a situation like that, it would be very cool to catch. Well, yeah, you can do that. Yeah, they use the Siemens one as their inspiration. I mean, it was a good choice, to be fair. Hello, Nabil. How you doing, boss man? I mean, yeah, but I would have to do a whole lot of planning compared to if I lived anywhere near there. Let's go. Listen, you can't go wrong with some bangers and mash, boss man. Can't go wrong. I actually haven't had that myself in so long. Or is that meant to be an English pronunciation of butter? PS4 is getting some add-ons. I believe the timetable isn't the exact same as it is on 9th gen though. I just got a whole lot of sound cut out. I love the scenery here, man. Really, really like it. Scenery in TSC has always been very solid. Such a wide variety of assets. That you feel that you are where you are a lot more than you tend to do in TSW. Bought this one. Oh, we're good, just about. I don't know what Salsiccia is. Let me search it up real quick. Yes. Yeah. I think any pork sausage is like the the true bangers. But realistically, any sausage will do. I need a bathroom so bad. I've been holding it for like 40 minutes. Brit approved, yes. I'd be surprised if announcements were gone. I can't imagine announcements taking a huge chunk out of the performance. I mean, it's possible. It's definitely possible. I think Simon was making that point yesterday. Pardon me. Yeah, worth doing so that you know for sure. So are you on PS4 then, Mark, not PS5? Oh, okay. That's all good then. I'm gonna make a quick trip to the bathroom because just sitting here, very uncomfortable. You've lost a small bit. How many services? How many services are there in total, Mark, on PS4? Just lost the AI 158. That is so minor. The 158 I've only seen like twice, and you only see it at Reading on like one of the end platforms. Like you're not gonna see it unless you're like flying around in free cam or walking around the station. And the rail tours, I mean, they're nice to see every now and again, but realistically, you're not missing out on much. it would cause some problems because the issues or the problems themselves come from there being, it just comes from the train itself being there. It doesn't matter whether you see it, how many services it does. As long as the train is loaded on the map, it's going to cause issues. But yeah, losing out on it, you're not losing out on much, or your friend's not losing out on much. If that's all like that's been taken out, that's been great. You can see process happening now. What the 4 people who are truly huge fans, dedicated to the 158. You lost the 350. Okay, that's going to be substantially more obvious than missing out on the 158. Again, you don't see them a great deal, but you do like running, let's say, a HSC from Paddington to Reading, or the other way around. You'll see like 2. If 2 or 3 if you're lucky. But it is nice to see, I guess, for example, in Paddington, it helps bolster the number of services. The 220 is very similar to the 158. Aside from like 1 service, I think, in the entire timetable, you will only see it at Reading. And even the services with it, I think there are only like 5. And they're all like 3-4 minute services. So that'll be, you'll notice it a bit more than the 158, but it will make a huge difference. Jesus Christ, bro. That could have gone very wrong. Bus is schmoving. You lost the 802. It's cool to drive, even though there are only like 5 services for it. But in all the journeys that I've made with the other trains, I've never seen it as AI. So another one that's like not, yeah, you know, it's not too big of a downer, I don't think. I do use AI, yes. ChatGPT. I don't know what's wrong with that guy, you know. I'll be honest. We have some really interesting characters. I think he's a good metaphor for our politics, or our political system. Where's the passenger camera? I'm offended you even had to ask. It's like that meme where it's like 20-ton hydrogen bomb or newborn baby. Who would survive? I like the speed limits on here. I feel like they could very easily just be like 50 kilometers an hour. But they chose a cool option. Could you elaborate on that point, Jackson? I'm very curious to hear. No. I'm curious to hear it from you. Classic auto mod. The latter point that you make, I'm interested to hear some examples that you may have. Because I would think the reason for Boris being more forward is because of that. You know? You know when somebody has no self-awareness that what they're saying is just complete nonsense. I cannot believe that was a guy as the face of the UK during COVID, man. Yo, what's Automo's beef with you today? Jesus. He was on TV telling everyone to stay at home and then going back to have parties. You love to see it, man. He had a lot of fun. He had a lot of fun. That's Boris for you, man. Fun character. Great guy. You've studied those who have come before you and deemed yourself worthy. Oh, I did this one successfully. So what was the difference? I did everything as I did it the first time. So why was this successful and the other one not? Hello ASR and goodbye, because that is the end of the stream. Thank you very much, Nabil, again for bringing me in, putting me on onto this great, genuinely great DLC. Although after that first run, I do have beef with it. Yes, the legend is back in the flesh. And I will leave it there. Don't expect to get a stream tomorrow. If there is one, I will put it in the announcements, I think. But yeah, been a great stream. Jackson, good talk. Thank you very much for hanging out on this Friday afternoon, everyone. Hope you have a lovely weekend and a lovely rest of your day. And as always, probably very soon, ASL, who knows? Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, stay safe. Health is wealth. And until the next one, peace out.